So last night I completed Team Affinity Chapter 2 for Season 1. I did it very quickly. I did it within like 2 to 3 days. I honestly should have done it faster. I think I did a few things that actually slowed down the process. But regardless, today I'm going to be giving you guys the best tips on how to complete Team Affinity for Season 1 Chapter 2 the fastest way. So first things first, I made this video for Season 1 Chapter 1, and it is actually different this time. There's a faster, or I wouldn't say a faster way, I would say a different way to complete this the fastest than Season 1 Chapter 1. So even if you watch that video, still watch this video. Ultimately, there's a lot similar, but there's some things that are different, so let's get into it. So with Chapter 2, the way the distribution works is a little different. So, I mean, the packs are all the same. Like, the bosses are still the same. Like, it's still 200,000 points for each program. But the way you get rewards is a little different. Ultimately, there are basically no more moments. They all turned into an extreme moment. I ended up doing 3 of the 6. I did 3 of the ones that I found that were easy. The AL East, AL Central, and the NL West. The other 3 aren't, like, I feel like I could definitely do them. I just got bored of them and I didn't want to waste my time. If you're good at the game, do these. If you're not, don't worry about them. I mean, you might as well give it a shot. Like, for example, this Jason Dominguez one, it's pretty easy. Like, hitting a home run on Hall of Fame isn't easy, but eventually, within like 5 to 10 minutes, you'll have 100 swings, and surely one of them will hit a home run, if you get what I'm saying. So they're not easy moments, but some of them are easy to do. Similarly, like, what was the AL Central? Yeah, the AL Central one was a pitching moment. It was with Verlander to just pitch 9 innings, don't give up 3 runs, and strike out 11 batters. This isn't that hard. It is hard because it's Hall of Fame. Just dot the corners with pinpoint and you'll be fine. And then the other one I did was the NL West. This one is hard, I will say. But my tip for this one, if you're going to do it, if you complete one of the 3 games and then you fail, close the app before it registers and then go back into the game. Therefore, it doesn't save. So if you pitch the first game and you get like 3 strikeouts and you don't give up a run, and then you play in the second game and you give up a run, close the app before it registers and then you'll come back into the game and it won't save that second game. So instead of going back to the first game, you started the second game. Tip of advice, not really an exploitation, it's just how the game works. So there's nothing wrong with doing that. But yeah, I didn't end up doing the Central, East, or AL West. I mean, I could have gotten them done if I wanted to. Like, this one was, what, 2 homers in a game? Yeah, I just didn't feel like doing it. This Eddie Matthews one was 3 extra base hits in a game. Like, these aren't hard for me, but they're going to be hard for casual players. And then the NL Central, or no, I did the NL Central one. It was Michael Bush. This one is kind of easy because you just need to get on base 4 times. It is 4 times on Hall of Fame. But I mean, you could get a walk, you could get a single, and it all counts. So the next thing that I did in Chapter 1 was I did all the Conquest maps, and the Conquest is different. In Chapter 1, there were 3 Conquest maps. Each of them had 10 strongholds. You didn't get any vouchers for them, but each of them would be like an Eastern, a Central, and a West. Each of them would give you 20,000 or 30,000 for both divisions. So if you completed the East Conquest, you would get like 20,000 for the AL East and the NL East. It's different. They nerfed Conquest. If we go to Conquest, it's a little different. There's only 1 Conquest map. And basically, how it works is if you complete a certain amount of strongholds, you get vouchers. So if you complete the whole Conquest map, you get 3 vouchers. So that's 15 mini seasons. Or I don't know why. I was thinking of mini seasons. Going back to mini seasons. If you win 15 games, you'll get the same amount of vouchers, but you'll be getting more if you complete a season. So I don't really think the Conquest is worth it. I did it once just to get the rewards, like the hidden packs and the stubs and the XP, and to get this choice pack. But ultimately, I don't think it's worth it if you're trying to speedrun. I think mini seasons is better, and I will get into why. But another thing to do in Conquest, when you do this Conquest, make sure you have cards from the Team Affinity or cards that go towards Team Affinity progress in your lineup. Don't just use your God Squad. Use cards that are going to help you get progress with the XP missions. If we go back to the Team Affinity program, you can get PXP and stat missions with the Chapter 1 bosses too. If we go to single player, okay, that's just Chapter 2, but like there's an example somewhere. Wait, am I dumb? Or I think it's... No, here it is, yeah. Chapter 1 and 2 bosses. So for the PXP, if you don't have any of the bosses, you can use Chapter 1 bosses if you have that completed. Now, in my last video, I also said to do showdowns until you get the first boss for every single division. I actually did not do that this time. What I ended up doing was I did a ton of showdowns. Like, they're super easy. You have four bosses all on veteran, and then you get 4 vouchers. I honestly think that's the quickest way to get vouchers, but it's not the quickest way to complete Team Affinity because you're not tallying stats while you're doing whatever you're doing, like if you're doing Conquest or mini seasons, if that makes sense. So it's the fastest way to get vouchers, but it's not the fastest way to complete Team Affinity because you'll be doing all these missions while you do mini seasons or Conquest. But anyway, I did a lot of showdowns. I actually started Conquest before I got one boss from every division. Ultimately, what I did was what I did was the first boss that I got was the AO Central, and I got this Justin Verlander. You don't have to do it exactly how I do. It could be any of these divisions, but this is just my tip of advice. Your first boss should be a pitcher. Mine was Justin Verlander. So I got to my first boss pack with Justin Verlander, and then I put him on my team. I completed the Conquest, so I did 15 3-inning games with Justin Verlander. That single-handedly got me the entire AL Central done just by getting PXP and Boss PXP and single-player stats done with Justin Verlander. Ultimately, as I progressed, I added these hitters to my lineup and it made it go faster. But I would say your first player should be a pitcher, and then either in Conquest or mini seasons, just use that pitcher over and over and over until you complete that division. Now, moving over to mini seasons, you're probably thinking, well, Nick, you said in the last video that Conquest is better than mini seasons because Conquest, the stamina doesn't have an effect. Ultimately, I changed my mind. Number 1, Conquest got nerfed for this chapter, but number 2, when you're just playing the rookie on play versus CPU, you can pitch someone with no stamina. Like, it really doesn't matter. As long as you're just hitting your corners and you're not playing like trash, like, you're gonna be fine. So what I did, let's go back to the Team Affinity program. Like I said with Verlander, I got the AL Central 100% complete by the time I finished Conquest, and I used those vouchers to get another pitcher. The next pitcher that I got was in the AL West. At this 60,000 point pack, I picked J.R. Richard. Ultimately, like, this card isn't that good. I just picked players to help accelerate the process. I got J.R. Richard, and I did the same thing I did in Conquest, but in mini seasons. So in mini seasons, what I did was I did 1 full mini season and then another 7 games. In mini seasons, I would put J.R. Richard in my rotation, and I would just start him every single time. It doesn't matter his stamina. You're going to play your first game, he's going to be at full stamina, and then at the end of the first game, he's going to be out of stamina, but it doesn't matter because you're playing the rookie on CPU. So you'll have terrible pars, you'll have no stamina, lower velo, but it doesn't matter because you're playing the rookie on CPU. So keep doing that over and over with pitchers until you get to your last division. So basically, as like a quote-unquote roadmap, I got my first boss in the AL Central. I did the entire Conquest with Verlander. By the time I finished the Conquest, I got enough vouchers to get to my first boss in the AL West, and I fully completed the AL Central. Then I did a full mini season, or the full regular season. What I do in mini seasons is I play 15 games. You don't have to play the full season. By the time you win 15 games, you're going to make the playoffs. It doesn't matter the seeding. You just want to win the championship. Just to save time, that's what I do, is I win 15 games, and then I quit every other game, and then I win the championship. So the first 15 games in mini seasons I did with J.R. Richard, and then when I completed that, I completed the entire AL West. Basically, when you're done with a pitcher and a division, you're going to want to use another pitcher. So basically, if you're going to be using a pitcher, get one at a time. So when you're picking, this is probably the most important part. When you're picking players out of these packs, think of the other bosses that you already have. If you're already using another pitcher, that you're making progress at another division, take a hitter. Only take a pitcher if those are the only options. If you only have Dollander and Jansen, then you can pick a pitcher. You're going to want to pick a pitcher right when you're about to complete a division with the pitcher that you're currently using. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Another thing I forgot to mention is in between Conquest and Showdown, I did a few more Conquest and Showdown. In between Conquest and mini seasons, I did a bunch of more showdowns, and I basically got to one boss for each division by the time I went into mini seasons. You don't have to, as long as you're just making progress with your stats and then you get to that first boss. It's really fine. I would highly recommend getting a boss for each division through showdown before you go into mini seasons. But like as you progress through mini seasons, you'll be getting vouchers. Every season is in total, if you do 15 wins like I do, so you get 1 voucher for every 5 wins. So in total, you'll be getting 21 wins, including the playoffs. So that in itself is 4 vouchers from just winning the games. You get 3 from making the playoffs, 4 from making the championship, and 4 for winning it, I think. Let me double check this. Mini seasons, Team Affinity Season 1. So, let me see. Okay. Make the playoffs. Yeah, make the playoffs is 3. Okay. Semifinals is 3. Championship is 4. So that's 10 vouchers from just the playoffs, and then another 4 from the every 5 wins. So you'll be getting 14 vouchers every mini season. That is very, very efficient. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. If you guys have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. I'm willing to explain. I hope I explained what I did well. You know, if you are confused, just comment and I'll explain it. But ultimately, Team Affinity isn't as daunting of a task as people think. It's so much easier this year than in previous years. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I've been your host, Nick from Big Ends Gaming, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.